see. I do a lot of things with your
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. At this time, I'll call the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome all our guests and thank you for being here this morning. I would also like to welcome Amy Radley from the AG's office. Thank you so much for being here, Amy.
Yes, sir.
And I think this is your first board meeting with us.
Second, actually.
Second?
When I first
Okay.
started, I came 11 years ago.
Well, we're glad to have you and thank you for the work that you do for the board.
Thank you, sir.
To all the staff that's here, again, thank you for being here and thank you for what you do every day. Because this board could not do it without you, so thank you. A special welcome to our new board member, Mr. Robert Markley. Thank you so much for being here, Robert. And it's an honor to have you as our new board member. And we're thrilled to have you, and we know that you'll do a great job on the board. Thank you. Absolutely. Before we'll get you sworn in, before we do that, the board would just like to recognize Terry Bernard. Terry, thank you so much for what you have done serving the state, not only for the board, but for the state as a whole with your service. And we wish you all the best in your retirement. And the board just wanted to say that publicly. And, but thank you again for your service, Terry. Thank you very much. At this time, Robert, if we'll step down, we'll get you sworn in. These chairs are a little big, right? And while we're stepping down, Monica, we want to welcome you and thank you for being here today. So at this time, if you'll place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Robert Markley,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will discharge all the duties required of me
I will discharge all the duties that are required of me
as a member of the State Board of Pardons and Paroles,
as a member of the State Board of Pardons and Paroles,
according to the best of my ability and understanding,
according to the best of my ability and understanding,
and according to the Constitution and laws of Georgia,
and according to the laws and the Constitution of Georgia.
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state.
and the Constitution of this
So
state.
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now you're official. Okay, at this time, Robert, if you'd like to say a few words, the floor is yours, sir.
First of all, I'd just like to say thank y'all very, very, very much. I'm looking forward to serving on this board and doing absolutely the best work I can do for you. I hope that I can live up to Terry's example that he's setting for us all, and I appreciate it. And thank you again for your service.
Thank you, Robert. And again, we're excited to have you, and we welcome you, and I know that you'll do great things with this board, so thank you. All right, up next is our prayer, and if Chaplain Hill will come up and give that. Thank you, James.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chair, members of this board, to everyone here today. Let us pray. Eternal and most gracious God, we come now, first of all, just to tell you thank you. Thank you for a new year, and we thank you for being a God who makes things new. Your word declares that if any man or woman be in Christ, they are a new creature. And so, God, we thank you for the opportunity to serve in this capacity in the new year of 2025. We ask now that you would protect us, that you would watch over us, that you would discharge your angels to keep watch over us as we discharge our duties and as we perform the oath of our offices. Father God, we thank you for this board. We ask that you bless them now with grace. We ask that you bless them with mercy. We ask that you bless them with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. These and all other blessings we ask in thy Son's name. And every heart say amen.
Amen. Thank you, James, and we appreciate what you do for the board, sir. Thank you very much. Up next is the approval of the agenda. The members have had a chance to look over the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. Thank you. Up next is the adoption of minutes from the September 10th board meeting in 2024. The ones that don't know, we do one board meeting that is off-site, so we did this one at the University of North Georgia. I thought it was a great event, and it gives opportunity for us to correspond with the staff as well as the students. And sometimes we get great interns like we did our last one. So we want to thank UNG again for hosting us. The board has had a chance to look over the minutes from that board meeting. Is there any corrections? Hearing none, is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the adoption of minutes is approved. Up next is old business, which we have none. Next is new business, and Director Kimner, if you want to come up, we have some policy amendments. Thank you, Chris.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board. We have a total of 6 board policies today for your approval. The first is Board Policy 1.109, Legislative Liaison. Under Section 1.105, we are adding a new paragraph designated as 1.105.1. This paragraph is to specify that the agency will not employ or contract any lobbyist entity. This is to ensure compliance with the Governor's Executive Order dated April 2021. As a result of this new paragraph, all subsequent paragraphs will be numbered.
Right. Any questions from the members? Hearing none. Next board policy is 1.117, citizen complaints regarding board employees.
Yes, sir. Board Policy 1.117, citizen complaints regarding board employees. Throughout the policy, the title of Director of Parole was updated to its current title of Executive Director. In paragraph 1.106.3, the term and/or was added to clarify that all 3 officials noted could be involved in coordinating an outside investigation. And in paragraph 1.106.7, a sentence was added to specify that all investigations regarding allegations of employee wrongdoing that are completed at the division level will be sent to Human Resources for record-keeping purposes.
Any questions from the members? Hearing none. Up next is Board Policy 1.129, response to state emergency and NIMS.
Board Policy 1.129, response to state emergencies and NIMS, in paragraph 1.105.3, a sentence denoting the frequency in which NIMS training is to be taken was removed.
Thank you. Any questions from the members? Hearing none. Up next is Board Policy 2.100, preliminary hearings.
In Board Policy 2.100, preliminary hearings, in paragraph 1.106.1.3, a reference to the board was replaced with Department of Community Supervision, since DCS is the agency that would be serving the preliminary hearing paperwork to the releasee. In paragraph 1.106.2, wording was adjusted from selected staff to hearing officers in order to align with verbiage used throughout the policy. This was also the case in paragraph 1.106.3, where a person was changed to hearing officer. In paragraph 1.106.7 and in 1.106.9, the term hearing officer was capitalized for continuity purposes, and written report was replaced with preliminary hearing summary report for continuity purposes. In paragraph 1.106.8, verbiage was changed to reflect that offenders are held in custody until a board until a board vote is received regardless of the findings or recommendation. In paragraph 1.106.10, minor word changes were made for clarification purposes. In paragraph 1.106.11, minor word changes were made for continuity purposes. And finally, in paragraph 1.106.12, minor word changes were made for clarification purposes, and the word majority was added to reflect continuity of wording from an earlier paragraph.
Thank you. Questions from the members? Hearing none. Next is Board Policy 3.406, Electronic and Telephonic Communications Systems.
In Board Policy 3.406, Electronic and Telephonic Communication Systems, in paragraph 1.104.1, the term personal computers was changed to electronic devices. In paragraph 1.104.2, the term personal computer was changed to computers, smartphones, tablets, laptops, and even some smartwatches. These were changes in the definition sections of policy for clarification purposes.
Thank you. Questions from the members? Hearing none. Board Policy 3.409, General Computer Use Policy.
In Board Policy 3.409, General Computer Use Policy, in paragraph 1.104.4, the term hardware and was added to clarify that hardware could also be reconfigured or damaged.
Thank you. Any questions from the members? Hearing none, is there any policy that needs to be voted on separately from any member? Hearing none, we'll vote on them as a batch. Is there a motion to adopt all policy amendments? There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the policy amendments are adopted. Thank you so much, Director.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Up next is our director's report and Executive Director Chris Barnett. Thank you, Chris.
Excellent. Good morning. Thank you, Chairman Herring, Vice Chair Heap, and distinguished board members. Thank you for your continued leadership, unwavering support, and thoughtful guidance to your operational team. And also, let me be among the first to welcome our newest Parole Board member, Mr. Robert Markley. Congratulations and welcome to the board. Your operations teams, we're truly excited to have you on the board. And I just want to start off with, don't believe everything you hear about the new board member training. It's not as bad as you may have heard. Well, maybe, but we haven't lost anyone yet. And so I take that as a very positive sign. But seriously, myself and your entire operational team are here for you. We're looking forward to your partnership, your insight, and vision as we continue to navigate executive clemency operations here in the state of Georgia. Board, what a great day. A day of change, renewed energy, and an eye to the future. I want to let you know that your operations team remains strong and committed to the board's mission and its 3 pillars of ensuring public safety, protecting victims' rights, and providing people with the opportunity for positive change. Operationally, we continue to evaluate our people, processes, and technology, looking for those opportunities to enhance our operations, ensuring we remain the most effective and efficient executive clemency operation in the nation. As such, recent personnel retirements have provided the board with opportunities to reimagine the agency, the operational layout, contemplate reorganization, clarifying roles and responsibilities, and elevating and enhancing some of our critical divisions and units. Therefore, today's director's report, we're going to look back over the last year and highlight some of the many successes and accomplishments the agency has seen over the year. And that is where we've been. That's going to be followed by division leadership reports focusing on recognizing those in new roles, new leadership roles, and the current status of the divisions and their eye to the future, where we are now and where we're going. So with that being said, I would call on our Director of Communications, Steve Hayes, to come forward and provide us a brief overview of what has gone on with the agency over the last 12 months. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Greetings, board, Chairman Hearing, Vice Chair Heat, Ms. Holmes, and Mr. Bennett, and welcome, Mr. Markley. It's my pleasure and opportunity today to brief you and the public on the agency's fiscal year 2024 annual report. And we have quite a crowd with us today, so we have the printed copies, and I've handed out several to our guests today, and we'll have plenty of those on hand if anyone would like one after the meeting. We again met our statutory requirement to deliver the report to the governor, both chambers of the General Assembly, and to the State Attorney General. This report covers and focuses on fiscal year 2024, and therefore includes information and statistics for the period running from July 1st, 2023 to June 30, 2024. The report delivers details regarding how this board and agency performed for all Georgians and enhanced public safety during that fiscal year. So as I go through it quickly, please let me know if you have any questions, or I'll be glad, obviously, to address any questions you may have following this presentation. Page 2, we have our mission, vision, and value statements, and our 4 E's that we operate daily as an organization. And those are engaging stakeholders, educating the community, encouraging active participation in the parole process, and enhancing operations. Again, in FY24, with the support of the board, operationally, we were successful as a team, from our executive leadership all the way through all of our staff, in operating by our 4 E's, and as a result, successful at enhancing public safety. The organizational chart reflects the time period for the fiscal year. I'm going to jump quickly over to the highlights section, pages 4 through 6. We have highlights for fiscal year 2024, including the election of our new chair and vice chair for this fiscal year, Mr. Herring and Mrs. Heap, and the 2 new board appointments that occurred during the fiscal year, Mrs. Holmes and Mr. Bennett, both appointed by Governor Kemp during the fiscal year. You know, as Chris said, our efforts throughout the year is to ensure that we engage and educate all of our stakeholders and criminal justice partners. These few pages reflect some of that efforts. By no means did we have enough paper and ink to go into everything that the board did during the fiscal year, and the agency and our leadership as well as our staff. But the few pages that we have here reflects our engagement of our stakeholders, including our law enforcement stakeholders and all of our criminal justice partners, as well as the public and crime victims. I wanted to draw your attention to the bottom of page 6, a monumental achievement by our clemency division, as we now have electronic pardons process that was implemented during the fiscal year. The work by the clemency staff, we now have an effective and efficient process, not only for the board and our staff, but as well for the applicants. So many hours of work by our clemency division, and that was achieved during the fiscal year. On page 7, the chair's introductory letter to the report, and it speaks to the tireless efforts of our agency workforce and discusses Georgia's 72% parole completion rate, among the nation's highest and well above the national average. Beginning on page 8 and the next couple of pages, we have our statistics that we start to include in the report. Also a definition and description of our board processes, and some history of the parole. For pages 10 through 14, we have biographical reports on our board members serving for that fiscal year. And then we moved to our executive leadership team, Executive Director Barnett, in that role since 2015. And as you know, Ms. Rita Rocker most recently retired, but without skipping a beat, Ms. Felicia Holloway has been promoted and stepped right into that role. We have our executive director's message for the report on pages 16 and 17. Again, it speaks to the many of the agency's fiscal year 2024 advancements and accomplishments. So there's so much in this report, and I would encourage the public to go to our website, and they can pull down a PDF and review it and learn so much about the parole board. I've only gotten through page 17, and that's only half of the report. The remainder of the report describes and details the board's decision-making processes, both in clemency and field services, our Office of Victim Services, and other information. On these pages, the parole process, clemency and parole considerations process are described. We have all of the fiscal year statistical data included from pages 18 to 26. You know, in public affairs and public information, we get many inquiries from the public, and many of them are directed at what the board considers when they're reviewing case information and what they may rely on when they're making parole decisions, along with the guidelines, if applicable. The information is included in this report on page 19. So by going to the report, the public can learn a great deal about the board's voting process. All of the board's processes are designed and successful in reaching scientific, data-driven decisions. Just sliding through, we have the pardons statistics for the fiscal year. Also, there on that page on the right corner, a brief rundown of some statistical information for the clemency division. Beginning, I'll mention this real quick on our page there. We have a 15-step, quick guide, as you will, for the parole decision process, both pre-decision and post-decision. Beginning on page 27, the board's processes for compliance with supervision for those offenders serving in the community on parole is explained. And of course, we want to give a shout out to our partners, the Department of Community Supervision, DCS, which is the agency that supervises all offenders on parole in Georgia. Might mention the commutation section. If an offender is successful, has performed exceptionally well, the board has the authority to look at the case, and upon request can review it and determine if an offender's parole will be commuted. On page 30, draw your attention to the fiscal year cost avoidance to the prison system and to Georgia taxpayers. We know it's not parole is not a process to save taxpayer money, but through the best parole decisions, again, 72% completion rate, again, among the highest in the nation, well above the national average. We are enhancing public safety. Pages 31 and 32, we talk about our Georgia Office of Victim Services. It describes specifically how crime victims are engaged, informed, and how this office keeps you, the board members, informed regarding victim impact, victim input, and how the office provides a voice to the crime victim. Page 33 describes our human resources efforts to put the best team on the field, keep the best team on the field, and along with training efforts to give our small but powerful workforce the tools they need to enhance public safety. The Office of Training and its statistical information and description is on page 34. All 179 employees of this agency have a critical and important role, and they perform it well in order to improve and enhance public safety for all Georgians. Our last page is our budget page. It shows how the funds that come to the board are spent in order to further our public safety mission. So with that, Mr. Chairman, that'll wrap up my brief report on the annual report. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to try to entertain them.
Questions or comments from any member? Hearing none, Steve, the board would just like to tell you we appreciate the work that you do on this every year because you knock it out of the park. Obviously, when you finish one, you're starting on the new one for the next fiscal year. So we cannot thank you enough for representing us in this report with what you and your staff do for us. So thank you very much, and another great job. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate those comments.
Good morning, Chairman Herring, Vice Chair Heap, each board member in their respective places. Welcome, Mr. Markley. I bring you greetings from the Office of Human Resources. Recently, the Department of Administrative Services released their annual workforce annual report. The data and the statistics in that report reports on all state agencies. And for the most part, the pandemic caused a lot of hiccups and challenges for the state's workforce. There has been high turnover, there has been problem with recruitment, and also issues of retaining employees. But I am proud to say that the State Board of Pardons and Parole, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, during the pandemic, we've managed to maintain stability in our workforce. We've been able to retain our staff. We've been able to provide opportunities for our staff during a time when the whole state is undergoing change. I would like to share some of that data with you. We currently have a total of 186 employees, 5 part-time and 181 full-time. FY '24, we had 18 promotions. Since July of fiscal year '25, we've had 10 promotions, and most of those were leadership positions. In FY '24, we had 13 separations and 17 hires. I boast that we have the 4th lowest turnover rate in the state, with a turnover rate of 4%, and putting us first in the law enforcement turnover rate. So I say that the parole board, we're getting it right. We are not only retaining our employees, but we don't have a problem recruiting employees either. So our recruitment is on point, our retention is on point, and I believe that a lot of that is attributed to your support, the leadership of our executive director, Chris Barnett, and the leadership of the great leadership team that we have at the parole board, and our ability to be flexible and engage our employees. So I say that we're getting it right. Right now, we have 18.7% of our employees that are eligible for full retirement. We have 27.5% that are eligible for early retirement. And we have 31.9% that are eligible for retirement within 5 years, and 40.1% that are eligible for early retirement. And I say that to say this: our people don't want to leave. We treat our employees good, we take care of the business, and they don't want to leave. So we don't have a problem with recruiting and retaining our employees. And it's not a problem for them to stay either with us if they decide not to retire at 30 years and stay 40 years. And we do have many 40-year tenured employees. But that's it as far as the statistics. I think that the State Board of Pardons and Paroles in the areas of our workforce, we're trailblazers, and we're leading the state in what we do with the creativity and the innovations that we have with dealing with our workforce. With that said, that ends my report. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Iris. Any comments or questions from the members? Iris, the board would just like you to know that you need to give yourself a little credit.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
you run the best HR shop in state government. So thank you for what you're doing. There is not one thing in HR that you do not know. And if you do not know the answer, you will find it out by the end of the day. And you have the best glasses in state government. Absolutely. Thank you, Iris.
Great job, Iris. Great job.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Chair, Vice Chair, members of the Board. Welcome, Mr. Markley. I'm just going to provide a brief budget and legislative update for you all. But first, I would like to introduce our new budget analyst. Unfortunately, he cannot be here today. He has a sick family member. But nevertheless, I would like to give you a little bit of information about him. He joins us from the Georgia Department of Labor and has been with state government for over 14 years. He also previously worked as a budget officer and project manager at the Department of Transportation. He has an MBA in finance and a bachelor's in accounting from the University of Memphis. He is also PMP certified professional. He is married and has 3 children. We are very excited to have him join our team. As you know, we've waited to fill this position for some time now, so we're super excited. I also would like to recognize the promotion, Miss Lawana. She's our new deputy CFO. She has served as our accounting manager for the agency since 2020. She's been an invaluable member of our accounting team, demonstrating exceptional leadership, dedication, and expertise. Her contributions have significantly strengthened our financial operations, and we are confident that she will excel in her new role. In her new capacity, she will continue to apply her expertise and will be responsible for overseeing the daily operations of our departments, accounting, and budget functions. So, congratulations, Laura.
Great job.
Now for a budget update, I wanted to provide a FY25 midpoint budget update. Now that we are halfway through the fiscal year, our target spend rate through the first 6 months is 50%. And our actual spend rate is just under that at 49.62%. We are on target based on current and projected spending, and we do expect to end the year in a positive financial standing and within budgetary compliance. And we'll continue to run a conservative budget to ensure that we close out the fiscal year in a positive budget standing. And I'll put on my legislative hat now. So we can shift our focus to review the upcoming legislative session schedule as it stands. Legislative Day 1 for the 2025-2026 legislative session is scheduled to start on Monday, January 13th. The governor's State of the State address has not been announced at this time. It is typically the first week of session, but I will keep you all posted on that. As you all know, this is where he will unveil his budgetary priorities and recommendations for the amended and upcoming fiscal years. The only other update for legislative session is joint appropriations meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, January 21st and Wednesday, January 22nd. At this time, we have not been asked to present, which is normal as a smaller agency, but we will be prepared to do so if we are called upon. So that's the budget and legislative update.
Any comments or questions from the members? Hearing none. As always, Kristen, thank you for what you do for the board. You keep us on track with our budget by sending out emails and keeping us informed. And as she said, she will be our legislative liaison this session, taking the place of Rita Rocker. And also, we'd like to congratulate Rita on her retirement. Rita did a great job across the street, and she had over 35 years with the state. So, but Kristen, I know that you will take that mantle, and you will do a great job, and we can't thank you enough for serving dual roles with us, and we appreciate your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Good morning, board, and Happy New Year.
Good morning.
My name is Keir Chappell. I'm the director of the Georgia Office of Victim Services, of course. Thank you for this opportunity to address you again and share the latest updates from the Victim Services. As always, our mission remains steadfast: to provide post-sentence support and critical information to crime victims, their families, and the community. Our shared goal is to ensure registered victims stay informed and that the board receives thorough victim and survivor input throughout the post-sentence process. Today, I'm especially pleased to share some exciting news about our team. It's with great pride that I announce Christopher Toussaint, standing over there in the corner, has been promoted to serve as our deputy director. Chris has been a dedicated member of Victim Services since 2017. His sincere heart for advocacy and commitment to assisting victims and survivors have been instrumental in shaping our division's growth. Chris has consistently gone above and beyond to innovate and strengthen our services. I have no doubt his leadership will continue to elevate both the division and our agency. On another note, this year is already shaping up to be a pretty busy and impactful year for our team. On January 16th, Ms. Heat will facilitate a victim impact session in the Griffin Judicial Circuit, continuing our outreach to amplify the voices of victims in the justice process. Later this month, our team will represent Georgia at the American Probation and Parole Association Winter Training Conference. We're honored to share Georgia's unique approach to victim services post-sentence to the rest of the nation, highlighting our state's commitment to supporting victims at every step of the journey. Finally, January is Stalking Awareness Month, a critical time for reflection and action. Around the world, advocates are calling on agencies and communities to educate themselves and raise awareness about stalking, a crime that's both prevalent and often misunderstood. Together, we can ensure this important issue gets the attention it deserves. Know it, name it, stop it. So thank you for your time today and your support of the Georgia Office of Victim Services. We look forward to another year of progress and service to victims and survivors. Of course, I'm open to any questions.
Questions or comments from the members? Well, Keir, you were short today.
I tried.
And for the ones that don't know, since our last board meeting, you were appointed director of Victim Service, so congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, it's well deserved. You were number 2 there for a long time, but we all know who run the shop, so thank you. And it's well deserved, but we can't thank you enough. Just like with all our directors, for what you do for Victim Services. You serve 3 agencies. And we're proud to have you. I mean, y'all are always out at events in the public, spreading the word out, social media. And I don't want to give any secrets away, but are we going to present a new member today by the name of Asher, or are we?
They're here.
But I'll go ahead and say this. All right, it's not a secret. So it's already been put on social media and everything. So Victim Services has a new comfort dog. So we're proud of that announcement. You know, it's been a long time coming. We got to talking about this idea, I think, 1.5 years or 2 years ago. We finally, we couldn't have a better handler or dog. I mean, and really, like I say about my dog, it's not a dog, it's a family member. So with that being said, we're the first parole board in the nation to have one, so we're excited about that. It you know, is for members of staff as well as victims or anyone in the state or out of the state that may need it as an agency. So it's very exciting news. But Keir, thank you so much. And I don't know if Asher's coming in, but you guys will get a chance to see the star of the show. So, Mandy, you can come on up to the podium and so, hey, sorry to put you on the spot, but if you don't mind, would you just give some brief remarks about about Asher and what you've been doing in the last few months?
Oh, yes, sir. Hi, good morning. I'm Mandy Kimner, and this is Asher. He is our comfort dog. Asher has been working really hard at reaching out into the community and connecting with people, and he's made a huge difference here at our agency. Everybody we get in contact with every day does say he makes their day way better. So, We've been to some schools, we've been to some programs where we've been able to speak with victims, and he's definitely already showing good skills on interacting with people who are in crisis at that time. So he's been very cool to work with. He's my partner, and he's a lot of fun. He's having a moment here.
He knows who needs comfort. He comes right to the source.
Yeah, we're doing trade. Yes,
Can
sir.
you tell that little story about the encounter with the gentleman?
Which one?
Well, anyone.
PCIS.
Okay, at the PCIS, it was a very interesting program there where people who are in very intense jobs and deal with high risk events. And hold on one second. Come on, Asher.
You're trying to get this thing right.
Yeah, come here. Leave it. Asher. Come here. Come here. So the gentleman, there was probably about 5 or 6 people in the group, and this is an opportunity for them to talk about things that they've experienced and traumatic events that they've had to go through, and it just gives them an opportunity to really kind of have a shared experience within the group. Well, most of the gentlemen in the group were like, we don't need a comfort dog, we don't need anything. So I let Asher sit behind the group, and he just kind of was napping. Well, one particular person decided after about the 3rd day he was going to just kind of share some things. So he got a little emotional, and it was just so cool. Asher just got right up, went right over to him, sat right between his legs, and put his head on his lap. So that was cool. It was just crazy to see him do it naturally without any training or anything like that. So he made a real good connection with that person, and I was so proud of him.
Well, thank you, Mandy, and
You're welcome.
we didn't mean to put you on the spot, but we knew that you were up for it.
Yeah.
And we appreciate what you do for us, and I can't say enough good things about the program.
Thank
So
you.
thank you
We're
very much.
very excited
Thank
to
you.
be here and serve the citizens of Georgia.
Fantastic. Well, I tell you, board, we're about halfway through the director's report, and I just cannot stop smiling. We have such a dynamic team and such a great team of professionals trying to lead your operations and support the mission of the board. And certainly we've got a number of folks in new roles. You've heard some of those already. And it's my great honor to publicly recognize one of our individuals in a new leadership role, and that is Miss Felicia Holloway. Come on up, Felicia. Felicia Holloway is our new Deputy Executive Director. Felicia brings a wealth of knowledge, experience, and insight to this role. She's a dedicated leader with more than 30 years of service to the state. Now, Felicia wants me to remind everybody, she started when she was 12. Right? The labor laws were different back then, so just want to throw that out there. But Felicia embodies a people-first philosophy and an unwavering commitment to ensuring Georgia remains the #1 state to live, work, and raise a family. Felicia will provide strategic oversight and operational management to support the board's mission and ongoing success. And I am just thrilled to see you step into this new role and help lead our agency. Congratulations, Felicia.
Thank you. Good morning to the board. First, I'd like to say that change comes, and change does not come easy sometimes. And it takes a leader that has a great vision and a leader that has courage in order to pull it off. So thank you, Chris Barnett, for having the vision and the courage to make the changes that were needed in this agency. And I thank you to the board for your continued support of the vision. It takes commitment, it takes heart, it takes caring about our people, which leads to why we have a low turnover rate. It starts from the top and trickles down. So thank you. Thank you for your support, and thank you, Chris. I'd like to introduce to you my team that I work with. I'm privileged to work with. So first, I'm going to let them speak, but they are Crystal Moon, who's our Director of pre-release. I'm getting used to the new terminology. Pre-release considerations. She's the vet on our team. And then we have investigations, our new Director of Investigations, Chris Kimner. And we also have our new Director of Post-Release Considerations, Kim Patton Johnson, who took over my role. They're gonna come up and just share a few brief words with you. Chris and Kim are new in their roles, so their visions for their vision for their divisions are still in progress, but they're gonna share some details with you. They're still pulling double duty. As you can see, Chris Kimner is still pulling his old responsibilities as well as in transition and learning his new responsibilities. So they'll come up in that order, and we'll start with Crystal, the vet on the team.
Good morning, Chairman, Madam Vice Chair, and the distinguished board members. It is with great honor that I have the opportunity to address this critical mission of our newly renounced division entitled the Pre-Release Consideration Division. It is both a privilege and a responsibility that I address a topic of critical importance to the success of our mission. Today, I want to focus on elevating and enhancing our vital work in our Pre-Release Consideration Division. At its core, this division is about hope, justice, and safety. Our work holds the delicate balance of offering a second chance to deserving individuals while upholding the trust and security of the communities we serve. The task is immense, but so is our opportunity to make a profound impact. So, to enhance our mission, we must invest in developing our division and its people through training and development, collaboration with internal and external stakeholders, and creating innovative ideas to enhance our consideration process. So in reference to developing people, I would like to present a new promotional opportunity effective January 1 to LaQuanta Flowers, to our GPEDS, which is Georgia Parole Evidence-Based System Manager. She holds a Master's of Business Administration from Syracuse University. She started with the Parole Board in 2006 as a clerk in the records and later transferred and was promoted to a team member and then a team lead. She was instrumental in constructing the Priority Date Initiative, which drives our database system. Thank you. Together as we continue to stand, being the nation's leading paroling authority, let us approach our work with the knowledge that what we do here changes lives, not only just for those seeking a second chance, but also for the communities that we're entrusted to protect. It means showing the nation and the world that accountability and compassion are mutually exclusive, but together we can create the foundation for a meaningful justice. Together we can shape the lives, strengthen communities, and redefine what it means to serve as the paroling authority. Thank you for your unwavering dedication by allowing me to lead this division. Together, we will continue to shape our future that exemplifies justice, compassion, and progress. Thank you.
Any questions from the members or comments for Crystal? Crystal, thank you for what your team does. We have the utmost confidence in you and your team with getting cases to the board. They're always thorough with information that the board needs to make this thorough decision making. So thank you so much for what you do.
That means a lot.
Chris?
Good morning again, Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board. Obviously, this is going to be a lot different role than I've been used to, so you'll forgive me if I accidentally start throwing in paragraph 1.102. The Investigations Division does not have any new promotions since the last board meeting, so my words will be short and hopefully sweet. But first, I want to just thank Chris, Felicia, and all the members of the board for your confidence in supporting the elevation of the investigations function of the agency to its own division. After brief discussions with division management and some of the staff, I could say that they share the same excitement and enthusiasm that I have in beginning this new chapter. Although we are a new division, we're still part of that same team that has helped shape the agency into what it is today. We will not lose sight of this, as it takes all divisions and units to support the board while also understanding that each division brings its own unique contribution. The goal of the Investigations Division is to ultimately be the premier investigative unit in the state of Georgia. We're going to achieve this through identifying effective methods that are in place, discard ineffective practices, and looking for new and innovative ways to bring a quality product to the board in the pursuit of its mission, which is informed decision-making in the clemency process, as well as enhancing the public safety for the citizens of Georgia. We can only realize this goal by fostering our professional relationships with all our stakeholders, both inside and outside, embracing new technology, and of course the most important thing, and that's to continue to invest in our greatest resources, which is our staff of the Investigation Division. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for what you do, and congratulations on your promotion. It's well deserved. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Good morning, Chairman Herron, Madam Vice Chair Heath, and distinguished board members, and welcome Mr. Markley, our newest board member. Before I begin, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the board, Executive Director Barnett, Deputy Executive Director Holloway, for placing your trust in me with this leadership role. I am both humbled and honored to serve as the Director of Post-Release Considerations. I deeply appreciate your confidence and support, and I look forward to working together to further our mission. Thank you. As Chris said, or Felicia said, being newly assigned or newly in my role, I haven't had a lot of time to work on developing our mission, but what I can say, where we are right now, with a primary focus on public safety, our goal for our newly named division is to foster successful completion of supervision and reintegration into the community for returning citizens, and facilitation of the redemptive process of restoration of rights and pardons for those deserving individuals who have made a true change and positive impact in their communities. So we could not accomplish our goals without the dedicated team that we had. Chris often said our greatest asset is our people. So switching gears and acknowledging two of my staff, I would like to ask Jenna James and Courtney Thompson to please stand. Jenna is back here in the corner. Jenna James was promoted to Deputy Director of Post-Release Considerations on November the 1st. With over 31 years of experience, Jenna has held a variety of leadership roles and completed numerous leadership institutes and courses, excelling in each. Currently serving as a member for the APPA leadership class, she continues to share her extensive knowledge and expertise. She is also a member of several professional organizations and associations. Jenna's wealth of experience and dedication make her an invaluable asset to the agency, contributing greatly to our success. Congratulations, Jenna. Courtney Thompson began her career with the Parole Board in 2010. She quickly excelled, holding many specialized positions in the field. In 2016, she was promoted to District Operations Manager, where she continued to distinguish herself by developing and implementing new approaches to our business operations. Courtney is a recent graduate of Command College and is a member of several professional associations. On December 1st, she received a well-deserved promotion to Senior District Operations Manager. We look forward to her continued contributions in this new leadership role. Congratulations, Courtney. I did fail to mention, and I just got a note from the Deputy Executive Director to mention that the Pardon Admin Unit had joined Post-Release Consideration. So we're very excited to combine the team. As Chris has said, it makes a lot of sense to move that aspect of post-release over to the division, and we're looking forward to all working together as a new team. Thank you. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Nope. Thank you, Kim, and congratulations on your promotion again. It's well deserved, and you'll do a great job. I couldn't tell that you were nervous at all.
Yes, you could.
And Jenna and Courtney, congratulations on your promotion as well. Y'all have a great team. Next.
All righty. That concludes our report. Do you all have any questions for me?
Any questions from the board? Felicia? The board wants to congratulate you on your promotion.
Thank you.
A better person couldn't have been picked. You did a great job running field services, and department that you've ran in your career. You have did a great job.
Thank you.
And I will tell you, this board is blessed to have you.
Thank you, I appreciate
And,
it.
and congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Is that it?
That's it.
Executive Director, do you want to say anything else? The floor is yours.
Well, look.
You're sitting there and you're looking like you want to say something else, so you still have the floor, sir.
You know, anybody that knows me, I'll never turn down the opportunity to step up and say a few words, but I would be remiss if I didn't give our Director of IT the opportunity to come forth and address the board and maybe share an announcement with y'all. as well.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Carlos, turn.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
How y'all doing today? All right, great. So I want to just do a quick introduction. It's not really quick, but it's very short. I get my phone. Right. Phone locked up. All right. Well, since the phone locked up,
Well, I'm glad you said it, ladies, because I was going to say it.
Right. So I just want to introduce our latest member to the Parole family. He actually not new, but he's been here a while. He's been here before I have. I want to introduce Muhammad Hayat. Muhammad is from the island of Rodriguez Martis.
It's Rodriguez Mauritius.
He told me 5 times, I still got it wrong. He came to the U.S. in 2014, became a citizen in 2019. He has a degree in networking from DeVry University. He's been with the Parole since December 2023.
No, yeah, December 2023.
Muhammad is patient. Muhammad is a great worker. He worked with everybody. People pass my office, but they're so used to going to Muhammad. Muhammad is bilingual. Well, he had multiple lingual. I want him to teach me a couple of them. He loved cooking, and he loved this agency. That's all.
Thank you.
Muhammad, we're glad to have you, and obviously you've met all the board members, but thank you so much, and Carlos, for the work that you guys do, because speaking for myself and I think the rest of the board members, the only way we know how to fix anything IT related is cut it off and cut it back on. It's above our pay grade. So, Chris?
Absolutely. I like to tell Muhammad all the time, you know, I taught him everything I know about IT. And after that 2 minutes, we just had a further conversation from there. But, board, I would like to take this opportunity again to finish where I started and say thank you. Thank you for your leadership and support. The things that you've heard today doesn't happen without you and your support and leadership and guidance. And I just want to say publicly, thank you for what I believe to be the best board in this state and certainly the best paroling authority in the nation. And also how proud I am and honored that you would allow me to lead this team. You have got an awesome operational team. Everyone in their role are just superstars, and it makes my job so easy. And I just want to publicly say to all of our staff, thank you so much for all that you do for this state and the citizens of Georgia. Thank you. And that will conclude our report.
Thank you. And I would be remiss if the board didn't say this. We appreciate the job that you do every day. You think outside the box on a lot of things that keeps us progressing along. So your leadership in this agency is priceless. So thank you for what you do every day. As somebody said before, that's the reason why we have people that stay around for 40 years. So thank you so much for what you do and for what all our staff do for this agency, because I've said it many a times, and I know that all the board members feel the same way. It's the staff who makes this agency. It's not the 5 people sitting up here. You guys make it run. It's not the five of us. So thank you so much for what you do. At this time, the board does not discuss offender cases in our public board meeting, but I would like to give you a phone number that you can contact our call center if you do have questions about a case. And that number is 404-656-4661. Repeating, 404-656-4661. And that concludes our agenda for today. Is there a motion to adjourn? There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.